XXL did this article about Jay-Z's best guest verses since 444. 444 was what, 2017? 17, I think. Yeah. Anyway, here's the list. And you know what? It's 17 songs that I guess Jay Z featured on, right? Best verses since. And they didn't include the Carters, I guess, because it was like a group album. I don't know. But seven of these 17 are from the J Electronica album. So number 17, Ezekiel's Will. We got
He's
number
not rapping on there. That's a hook.
right.
He's not
Number
rapping on.
16, APIFTA. That's J Elect again. Number 15, Universal Soldier. Number 14, Sorry Not Sorry, DJ Khaled. Number 13, The Never Ending Story, J Elect again. Number
Should've been
12,
more.
Talk Up. Number 11, The Blinding, J Elect again. Number 10, Entrepreneur, the Pharrell record. I didn't like that first.
I didn't like that at all.
The Ghost of Soldier Slim, J Elect. I like that verse.
No. That's dope. Ghost of Soldier
Um,
Slim might have should have been number one.
Number 8, Jail, Kanye West. Didn't really like that verse either.
You can
Number
keep that.
7, Bath Salt, DMX. I think that's an
That's
old verse, and I didn't
that's
even
2013. That's
that
2012,
yeah.
2013. So that doesn't count.
I
Not
didn't even
applicable.
think the verse was that impressive either, to be honest.
No, he has the weakest verse on there.
Based on his standards, right? Number 6,
Nas and
Love
DMX too.
Love All, Drake. Uh, you know what? I think that verse was stronger than some of the stuff that he put out recently. Number
I
5,
can I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Top Off, DJ Khaled. Number 4, What It Feels Like, Nipsey. That's the one he did with Nipsey.
None of
I
this
don't
is
even really
impressive.
remember that
Really
record.
outside of Ghost of Soldier Slim.
Number 3, Flux Capacitor. That's J Luck again. Number 2, Neck and Wrist. And number 1, What's Free.
This is awful.
This made me think, man. Yeah. Oh, Kane says y'all must have forgot UGK came out in '07. Yes, they
It's
did.
not better than the Cool. You talking about the double album with Swishers and Doja?
People are saying, yeah. People are saying the XXL is trash, but what did they miss?
Well, they didn't. Well,
That's
the
the
problem. No.
problem.
The list is trash, not because they missed anything, but because the list is trash. And it's like, if those have been his last 5 years,
Ah.
there's no way. No, I don't want to juxtapose this against anybody else.
Well, we have to, because this is what the conversation is. And again, it's one thing that this is what his last 5 years looks like, and I'll put it on the screen again if the screen will allow me to. If Nas' last 5 years look like this, people
Say
would
his
be
career was over.
trashing him.
No, they'd say his career was over.
They would. If Nas'
They would say
last
his
5 years
career was
look
over.
like this, and then
If this was it, it'd be like, well, he did this album with this lesser known artist, and that's really the only output. He's done a couple of verses here or there, and they're not stellar. His career is over.
Yeah.
Because they've already said his career is over like 2 or 3 separate times.
I mean, because really, man, I'm gonna be honest. There's maybe 2 and a possible Jay-Z level verses on this list.
The Jay-Z level verses on here is what's at number 1, and the Ghost of Soldier Slim and Never Ending Story. The rest of it's just The rest
Neck
of
and
it's
Wrist is cool too.
No, you want to know what? Neck and Wrist has grown on me just because it hasn't been like played out anymore. I'm cool with Neck and Wrist. So they're 4 out of 10, but that's what I mean. Look at it like this. Jay's a ball player. He compares himself a lot to like NBA ball players.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cool to go 3 of 10 or 4 from 10.
Jay Short says this is the direct
From the line or from the
response.
field.
Jay Short says this is a direct response to A2HH on Jay's last 10 years. Mike 100 says, who thought that Jay's feature idea was good? That's the media keeping him alive.
That's valid. That's valid because anybody that respects hip hop and respects his place would actually not put this out because this is a knock to him, not an ode to him. So whoever did it doesn't know their shit.
Huh. This is problematic, man. And again, I know, like you said, we don't have to mirror it with anybody else, but we also have to factor in when people talk about this debate, like our guys at Rap Roundtable were talking about. This is what his last 5 years looks like. Nas's last
So,
5 years
and
looks
then
like
hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nasir.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Nas's last 5 years looks like Nasir, Lost Tapes 2, KD, KD2, and Magic. I'm sorry.
That's what we
And
call
and I love
blowout.
Jay. I love Jay. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, and I came to this podcast saying that he was number one. If you tell me this is what his last 5 years looks like, or the best of his last 5 years, including an album with Beyonce, which I thought was cool, versus what Nasir, Lost Tapes 2, KD, KD2, and Magic, I have to concede and say, you know what? The guy I had at number one is going to have to move down to number two, and the guy I had at number two is going to have to move up to number one. It just is what it is. And
So I want
anybody
you
who
to think
doesn't want
about
to
this.
face that realization is just not being objective.
Well, actually, I think this list is the realization of it because think about this. It's a struggle for you to find 17 Jay-Z verses in the last 5 years. Like literally, Nas has released 4 full albums. 2 of them, like one of them appears to be going down like a classic. The other one might be going down as a classic as well. The other one's really great. The other one is solid. Like the verses on King's Disease are better than most of these verses. They're not even like you don't want to pull the Magic or the KD2 verses out. Like all the Magic and KD2 verses are pretty much better than that list they just did outside of the Ghost of Soldier Slim.
We're going to have to go back to American Gangster to compare something to Magic.
Well, that's not fair to Nas now, is it? Because now you're
I'm
talking
just
about having
saying,
to
we're
bring up a
going
word
back
that's
a
like
long
13
time.
years. You got to go back like 13 years to find something comparable to what he's doing now. 15? He's the GOAT
15.
then. If you got to go 15 years back to Jay's work to compare it to what Nas just did, then that's kind of like the GOAT conversation. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not a disrespectful thing. We have to audit it properly.
Look, it's like the Peyton Manning and Tom Brady argument we used to have.
Oh, that's
and
a great
for
way
all
to
the
put it.
people,
That's
and
great.
I love, like my homeboy
No.
Todd, my homeboy Ron, shout out to Ron, shout out to Todd,
Obi,
all
my
of my
producer,
friends,
Obi.
all of my
Obi
friends
too,
growing
Mike.
up, they were Peyton guys, and all of them now, like, listen, you're right, Tom's the GOAT. At some point, you just have to look at what you're seeing and just face the realization of it.
Mike, I was living in Cali when all the Brady Peyton stuff was going down. It's all me and Obi argued about in the studio. I don't think you understand. We got into fights about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning that made me walk out of the room and stop smoking weed to go outside and smoke a cigarette and leave this motherfucker alone. It's like I'm going to talk to James. James was a playwright. Obi was a producer. James was a playwright. So Obi was the African guy. James was the Asian guy. They came from NoCal. I would go outside and smoke like a pack of cigarette with James before I would go back in with Obi after the Peyton Manning shit. Because this is like 03 to 06 when it's live.
I bet he won't argue
so you're
that
totally
now.
Right. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All those Peyton Manning guys would be like, yo, and this is what I mean about when Randy Moss pulled up. Is like as soon as Tom got somebody comparable to Marvin Harris and Reggie Wayne, this conversation over.
Well, we look, the longevity and what Tom has done from the Buccaneers, last couple years with the Patriots, that ended the conversation, to be real. I mean,
Hold on.
And you know what? This is what I'll
like,
say. This is what I'll say, and I want to finish this thought. Magic was Tom Brady winning with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in year one. That's what it was. Like, you have no argument for that at that point. No Peyton Manning fan could say anything.
We weren't even expecting Magic. He just made KD2.
Yeah, you can't even sit here and say, oh, it's Bill Belichick, it's the system or whatever. The man went to Tampa Bay, first year, won a Super Bowl. That's what Nas did when he dropped Magic in the same year as KD2. The argument's over.
Hold on. Leroy said, stop, Coop. Let's pull Nas's verses out. I have no problem with doing that. We're going to pull Nas's best 17 verses of the last 5 years. It's all bad for you guys. It's all bad for you guys.
KD with the super chat says,
what are you going to do when I pull up that second verse to store run? You feel me?
I feel you. KD says, I'm telling y'all, because all of y'all influence I'm telling y'all, it's because all of these influencers gas everything Hove does, and that's why he's held in his position in hip hop. Nas doesn't have vocal stands in the media, and that's why his last 3 albums were overlooked.
It's facts.
I think that people look at Jay's stuff as they should, but I think in recent times, since we haven't gotten anything, they do kind of elevate things. And I'm not going to sit here and say it like Jay doesn't deserve to be elevated, because in his prime, he was killing shit. And there was no illusion, was no optical illusion.
No.
But
the shit that he did.
Yeah. But when it comes to 444 and beyond, we're getting a little bit of gas, you know?
Hey, well, look here. Look here, all jokes aside, and I usually say this jokingly because people know how I feel about it. I really could beat you with some Death Row East verses right now, and that's not good. That's not good that I could beat you with some Death Row East verses. I can beat you with Death Row East right now. I can legitimately beat you. Hold on, did they put Flux Capacitor?
Yeah, they did.
And Ezekiel's Wheel on here?
Yeah.
Telling me Death Row East ain't better? That's what I mean. It's like, that's why
we could
like,
even
when
go.
I be joking, I'd be like, well, what Hove got for Death Row East? It's like, well, what J shit is you riding to lately? Where it's
we
like
can even go on the DJ Premier album.
Your head to the beat like that. You're not.
We can go on the DJ Premier album. Jay Short with the super chat says the Jay-Z curtain call 2 is going to be garbage as well. Oh, wow.
That's disrespectful. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Disrespectful.
Deontay Smith says Jay-Z's the Harder They Fall soundtrack songs were not that hot either. They didn't even put it on this list, guys. I was looking for that. I was like, are they going to put...
No, those weren't any good. Those weren't.
Are they going to put the song with Kid Cudi on there?
Dropped them. I was like, that's not good.
I mean, listen, I'm going to keep it all the way real.
Not good.
And again, I hate that I have to keep saying this, but I have to keep saying this. I love Jay. You know I do. And
I don't know why we have to keep saying that. Like, hold on. We don't get to be a court in hip hop and have all these followers without showing some sort of reverence for somebody like Jay-Z. He is clearly one of the greatest MCs of all time. Objectively speaking, you cannot. There's not an objective hip hop list that should have Jay-Z out of your top 5 MCs.
But what I'm going to say, though, is he had a record with Jadakiss and Conway the Machine that we don't even listen to. We don't talk about it.
Like it never even existed.
It's crazy. Him and
Nas Conway's the only one who showed up.
Him and Nas made a record together in a year when Nas made KD2 and Magic. We don't talk about it.
Nobody talks about the record. They talk
he
about
made
KD2.
a record with Nipsey Hussle. After Nipsey Hussle's passed, we don't talk about the record.
We talk about the Rick Ross Nipsey Hussle record. Yes.
Oh yeah, that record's dope. And no,
this shit hard.
The game in Nipsey's record is great.
Rich Nigga Lifestyle hard.
Rich Nigga Lifestyle's hard, and so is the game.
That's the best posthumous Nipsey record. In
my personal opinion, I'm going with the one the game did on Born to Rap.
I mean, we can go with that too.
That shit was hard.
Wherever you want to go.
Mike 100 says Leroy Green said pull up the Nas verses. LOL. Why? Nas got albums.
I'm gonna pull up.
He said why? He said why? Nas got albums.
Classic.
You got verses. He got albums.
Got classic verse.
Listen, man.
You want to do that?
Leroy. I know Leroy got the Rock Nation hat on. I respect.
Look, I can beat you, Leroy. I can beat you with stuff like "Count Me In."
Leroy.
You count me in.
Leroy.
Beat you with 27 summers right now. Can beat you with 27 summers right now, Leroy.
Better
stop that.
Leroy, we need an album.
Can beat you with 10 points.
Leroy, we need an album. This isn't fair. It's not fair to Jay that they even put this article out there. I don't know if the people at XXL were being funny or whatever. And then they put 7.
What they're doing. They need to stop
you know what they should have done? They shouldn't have even included the Jay Electronica stuff because that looks really weird. Look at how many is on here.
All of them?
Yeah, it's like, why did they even
somebody said Echo, that? Mike. Somebody brought up Echo. Is Echo 2017?
I think it's 2018, I believe.
Say goodnight, Mike. Say goodnight. Say goodnight. If we can put Echo in there too? Oh no. This is over. I told you Echo was the best rap song that year.
You know what? I usually say Nas fans gas his material sometimes, but I'm kind of with you on that, man. Echo's great.
Echo's great.
And you know me, I'm not even a Swiss Beats fan.
Neither am I.
Echo's great.
When I heard Echo, I was like, this is borderline a greatest hit song. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? You want to know what else? Is Major Key falling on this one off the Khaled album?
I guess so. I mean,
those were the songs that made me think it's like, oh, he's not done. It was Major Key and Echo that made me think he wasn't done. That was before the albums dropped. I was like, did he just sound like that on Khaled album? I'm like, did he just sound like that on Swiss album? I was like, hold on. It's like,
Mitch
he's
with
not
the
done.
super chat says, "Who ran 2003 and 4? 50, Jay or MF Doom? 50 and Jay had a
First of
great
all,
album in '03, but in '03 and '04, Doom had 4 album run and a great slash near classic material. You know, it's really hard when you put Doom up against major machines like that. Doom was doing it from an independent standpoint, but I will say this, and I said this before: the fact that the Doom was able to have that level of impact on an independent grassroots level before the internet was popping is
groundbreaking.
impressive enough. And the fact that you're even
Groundbreaking.
mentioning him with a machine like 50 Cent and Jay-Z at that time is super impressive.
You want to know what? Just the fact that he's being mentioned in that breath pre-internet. Because you want to know what? The internet's blowing up right around the time when he's making this move.
He's a
And
part of it. Like, he's a part of the
hold on,
fact that
I was actually about to
yeah.
say, Mad Villainy is part of the internet nerd blogger blow up thing. It is, because I watched it happen, because I was there literally watching it happen. Like, you know, the first time that I heard Ether online on a Nas site. They used to have a Nas site, like the I Am Nas site.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I Am Nas. Oh my God. You want to talk about some stands? I used to be afraid to go in there. There'd be niggas in there for hours that were literally typing up his lyrics from It Was Written, like, for fun.
Yeah.
I was like, first of all, y'all ain't getting no. You ain't getting no.
But you know what?
I'm outside, so it's like I'm getting that. So I'm not about to sit up here and type this. First of all, I'm trying to rap myself. I'm not trying to be in here in the chat with you lames all night typing this shit up, trying to get something soft and warm, like Rakim said in Mahogany. I'm trying to get something soft and warm. I'm only pulling up here briefly to see what you niggas is talking about on this rap shit. I'm about to go get this money, about to go get this girl. But you dudes just in here, it's cool. But I watched all that, and that's how I first got put on the Doom, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I would say this too, man. As great as the listening and the minstrel show is, and I love minstrel show. I think it's incredible.
It's not better than
Mad It didn't
Villainy.
make a dent that that Mad Villainy did.
Because it's not better than Mad Villainy.
No, it's not. Ryan Gillen with the super chat says, "Do y'all think K-Dot not having producer Terrence Martin on the new album is what messed up the replay value? He was on every album except for this one."
Huh.
Well, do you think production is an issue with the current album, Mr. Morale?
It's funny that we're bringing this up on a day when we're talking about Lupe. When you want to attack dense, heavy subject matter, you need to play from the Rakim and Nas handbook and stop doing that shit that you guys are doing. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. You have to play from us.
Well, you know what? The record that I love.
What does Guru say when the moment of truth starts? I'm gonna say again, we have certain formulas, but we update our formulas with the times. As in, like, there's certain shit that's gonna work when you make this type of music, and certain stuff that doesn't. And when you always have a message, you need to have a formula, something that works. What you're seeing is that, like, there's a formula. The formula need to work. A lot of Lupe's formulas, I don't care what y'all say. It's okay to be a fan, okay? Listen, I'll never pull up on here and talk about Lupe's worst album the way I talk about Nostradamus. You feel me? Because he's not that guy. And so I'm not auditing him on the highest level. Like, Nas gets that. Jay gets that. Scarface gets that. Ghostface gets that. If Pac and Big were here, they would get that. Like, I'm not giving him like that energy on the highest
What about
levels.
Kendrick? Because
like,
people feel like
every time you bring up Nostradamus, I'm like, stop.
But I'm saying,
when I talk about Lupe catalog, I don't be doing that. So when people are saying he's being excoriated, it's like, no, make it make sense.
Well, you know what? They say that about our take on Kendrick. So do you feel like we hold him to that highest order of critique?
Well, his albums are better than Lupe's, so we do kind of hold him like to that critique. But if I also had to be honest with you, it's like when I went back and listened to the Cool, and it's like, well, damn, I can see why Lupe is mad. This is better than most of the shit Kendrick's made too, honestly. Like, I'd rather listen to the Cool than to Pimp a Butterfly, Mike. I'd rather listen to the Cool than listen to Damn.
That's a fair point. Becca
So
Jones
Good Kid,
says,
Mad City is really the only thing that Kendrick really has over Lupe that I can verify. And I've been hard on both of them, but if we talk about verifiability, it's like if we're going in order, it's like go Good Kid, Mad City, and then the Cool, and even that would be kind of close. I just feel like the feel and the timing of Good Kid, Mad City is better than the Cool, but I mean I can't say that it's better outside of that, truthfully. So
Becca
some of
Jones,
the hold on, you and I talk behind the scenes, and it's like we feel like, and I'm just gonna say it, there's a natural bitterness, and it happens. We're all 40. Like Lupe may not have gotten the respect that he deserves because maybe he deserved more Nas, Rakim type of praise as a lyricist that Kendrick gets. That definitely Lupe deserves. So it's like if you're looking at what Kendrick gets as a lyricist, and you're Lupe, and you're like, hold the fuck on. No, he's right about that. He's right about that. If Kendrick is getting certain love as a lyricist that he's not getting as a lyricist, then it's like, no, we need to audit that. But that's also why when we were reviewing his last album, I was like, hold up, we may need to scale this back. And the way that we're holding Kendrick in a certain regard as a lyricist, need to be holding Lupe in that regard. I very vividly remember saying that. And so although there are missteps, I'm also, at least on my side and on the according to hip hop side, I'm getting rid of some of the spam. That's the only reason I'm looking over. I'm trying to be accountable for some of those missteps though. So when he's behaving and even responding to me this way, it's like, nigga, I just said that you deserve love that Kendrick deserved. I just said that you was a Rakim and Nas type of lyricist. I just said that you were arguably the greatest lyricist of all time. I just said you actually do the real community work that these motherfuckers pretend to do with they phony asses, and you want to pull some Shakespeare shit on me.
Lord. Becca Jones says, the truth alone kills all the Jay-Z verses that were in that post. Huh. Listen, man, we need a new album, Leroy. Leroy, I'm talking to you. I know you got the Rock Nation hat on. Jay Short with the super chat says, just call Hit Boy, Jay-Z. No one would care in 10 years.
Hold on. This is what I mean about auditing this. Hold on 1 second. Samir Abdallah, I didn't come on here and say Food and Liquor was produced by Pharrell. I asked how many tracks they produced on that album because I thought they did like 3 to 5 tracks and executive produced it. Executive producing an album doesn't mean making tracks. Ask Dr. Dre. I thought they actually did 3 to 5 beats. Turns out they only did like 1 or 2. That doesn't change the fact that Food and Liquor production-wise isn't there for me though. It's not.
Leroy Green with a super chat. Oh, Leroy Green, serious getting in conversation.
Leroy super chat.
He said, all caps, debate me on it. We got to set that up.